Hello everyone, welcome back to my channel. In today's video, we'll be exploring one of the most fundamental topics in both EdXL and KV syllabus. As per the request of lots of students, I decided to discuss this topic with you all. So, parliamentary lawmaking process. This is one of the frequently asked areas in the exams as well. So I hope this video is going to be useful. Great. Let's get started. Have you ever wondered how an idea becomes a law in the Westminster Parliament, or in other words, in the British Parliament? Let me clearly explain how this vast process is going to be conducted, and finally at the end how a mere idea is going to become a law. Let's first of all talk about the role of parliamentary in lawmaking. That is the background in which that you need to understand when it's come to this lesson of lawmaking process. As we are already aware, the legislature is the body who has the power to make laws, who has the authority to make laws. So in UK, Parliament, or in other words, the Westminster Parliament, is the supreme lawmaking body. So in that light, we often refer this to as parliamentary sovereignty or parliamentary supremacy. That means Parliament can make or unmake any law, and other bodies, even the judiciary, can't challenge once parliamentary passes a law, which means no other body can override the laws made by the parliament, not even the courts, as I mentioned earlier. In this light, we need to clearly understand the three main pillars of the Westminster Parliament, namely House of Commons, House of Lords, Monarch, or in other words, the Crown. House of Commons. The House of Commons made up of elected representatives of the people. When people elect their favorite individuals to the Parliament in order to make laws on behalf of them, such individuals can be seen in House of Commons. So House of Commons is a political body. They are answerable to the people. They are accountable to the people. On the other hand, we have House of Lords. Mind you, House of Lords is not a political body, where in House of Lords we will be able to find life peers, hereditary peers, and bishops. And thirdly, we have the monarch, or in other words, the crown. Monarch or the crown, or in simplified way, if I explain, either its king or the queen has the authority to give the royal assent at the end of this lawmaking process. Together, they make laws through a process known as the legislative process. The House of Commons, House of Lords, and the Monarch, together they make laws through a process known as the legislative process. In that light, I need to also explain you all about types of bills that we will be able to find in UK Parliament. First can be called as the public bills. The speciality, the uniqueness of public bills is, the application of public bills is, public bills will be applying to the whole country. Public bills will apply to the country at large. It's going to be applied to the whole country. The Human Rights Act 1998, Theft Act 1968, these can be regarded as examples. These are public bills because in terms of Human Rights Act 1998, in terms of Theft Act 1968, etc., going to be applied to the entire country. Also, we have private bills. What does that mean? Private bills will be affecting only particular individuals or organizations. Mind you, mark my words, private bills is going to be applied only for particular individuals or organizations rather than public at large. We have quite a lot of examples for that as well. Leeds City Council bill can be regarded as an example for private bills. Also, we have hybrid bills, we have money bills. These bills also we need to have a slight discussion on these bills as well. Hybrid bills, the word itself gives you the meaning. What does that mean? When we have both the elements are mixed together, the elements of private bills and the elements of public bills are mixed together, we call such bills as hybrid bills. Hybrid bills will affect the public generally, but also it may have a specific impact on certain individuals or organizations, certain groups. Let's put in that way. High Speed Rail Act 2017 can be regarded as an example for hybrid bills. Also, we have money bills. Money bills will be dealing only with taxation or government spending. And by convention, money bills will be initiated from House of Commons. So that is the uniqueness of money bill. So I hope you are clear up to this part. I told you how an idea becomes a law in the context of Westminster Parliament of UK. And I told you a varied types of bills that we will be able to find in the UK Parliament. Also, now let me tell you all about the pre-legislative process. This is also a frequently asked area in your exams. You can go through and check the past papers of both Edexcel and Cambridge. There are lots of questions on this area. Let me tell what is meant by pre-legislative process. Before a bill even reaches the Parliament, mark my words, before a bill even reaches a Parliament, there is often this stage called pre-legislative stage. This pre-legislative stage involves two things. One is consultation stage, discussions, consultations. Secondly, drafting, making the bill. So, in that light, we need to talk about green papers and white papers. Green papers can be regarded as the consultation document, and it presents ideas for new laws and invites comments, suggestions or recommendations from interested parties, interested groups in the general public. Also, we have white papers. After receiving such feedback, suggestions and recommendations, the government will be publishing the white paper. White paper often outlines the proposals for the legislation. White paper often outlines the proposal for the legislation. Once it approved, drafting begins. So, therefore, the Parliamentary Council need to ensure that the bill will be drafted precisely in an understandable way. That's very important. So now the bill is ready to formally introduce to the Parliament. We are done with the pre-legislative process successfully. Now the bill is ready to be formally introduced to the Parliament. So at that moment, we need to talk about the legislative process in the Parliament. I already told you, when it's come to the legislative process in the Parliament, I'll be discussing the different stages that we need to fulfill for a mere idea to become a law, a mere proposal to become a law, a mere proposal to become a law in the country. Let's go through step by step, because I'm this concerned about this area, because this is also a frequently asked area. If you go through the past papers, Edexcel and Cambridge past papers, this area can be given as one of the important or vital questions. There are varied methods of asking about this question, about this area. They can raise enough questions on this area. Okay, let's go through step by step. Firstly, we have first reading. First reading is all about the topic of the bill will be read out in the Parliament, which means this is where a formal introduction of the bill will be declared in the Parliament. So you all need to clearly understand, there will be no votes, there will be no debates, nothing is going to be conducted. It's mainly to notify the parliamentarians that such a bill exists. So that's the outcome, or that's the expectation of having a first reading. Secondly, or stage 2 will be the second reading. So this seems to be a kind of complex stage, because here MPs are discussing, let me use an appropriate word for that. MPs are debating on the detailed principles and clauses of the bill.